All right, well, I've started recording, so you know what? Let's switch it up today. No intro today. We're just going straight into it.
All right. Are you ready, Nick?
Hell no. But I guess just about, We learned a lot of new things yesterday. Things that bring a completely new meaning to everything.
Careful today. We don't want to reveal that the police force were working with the Rivales family.
Yeah, I
You
feel
didn't
like
hear that, two guards standing at the door, did you?
I'm gonna assume Maya is whispering right now, but yeah, that would be quite the bombshell to drop on the public. Don't worry, I'll be careful how I handle that.
Police would never be able to recover from a scandal like that.
Speaking of the mafia, where is Mr.
You'd
Parker?
be surprised.
He should have been here a while ago. You're looking for the defendant, he's in the prosecutor's lobby. He's being prepped for his testimony.
So Prosecutor Williamson is going to have him testify today.
Who bets that Mr. Parker is gonna somehow admit guilt for something because Prosecutor Williamson pressured him to do it? I guess so.
You think he really killed him?
No, I don't believe that he killed Rivales.
Also, these two are taking the news that Parker is going to be a witness very well.
I'm gonna assume they probably expected this to happen.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Not Mr. Rivales. Miss Key's father.
You have to
He
do
is
it
no
one last
question
time.
in my mind. The man you're defending is a monster. He's evil.
If he did, I'm not sure there's much we could do about it. The statute of limitations is already passed.
How could he do something like that?
We don't know if he did it yet.
Maybe you shouldn't defend him anymore.
I'm not defending him for that crime, I'm defending him for this crime. I couldn't do that to him after coming this far. And anyways, apart from Mr. Parker, Detective Waters is currently the top suspect.
That's right.
If I were to stop defending Mr. Parker now, somebody else would take over. And I can't guarantee that they'd be pushing for a happy ending for Waters.
It's all up to us then. Let's do this. Maya! Faye!
Yep. Today I'm going to have... Fuck. Today I'm going to have not one person to prove innocent, but two. Hopefully I can pull it off. Hopefully. He's tall. Oh my god.
I think we knew that already.
Mr. Williamson, it is to my knowledge that you wish to have the defendant testify today. Well, I mean, I knew he was tall, but I didn't think he was that tall. Do you want to voice Obadiah, or do you want me to continue doing it?
The witness is going to be Wayne Parker.
Oh yeah, you're doing Mr.
So...
Parker, so... If what we discussed yesterday is true, then there's a good chance this man saw Detective Waters enter the crime scene. That goes completely against the prosecution's claims that the defendant was the killer, though. That's irrelevant. As prosecutor, I must find the true culprit. If that happens to be a man I've worked with, so be it. The truth is absolute. There are now two suspects in the case. One of them did it. That just means that they'll both try to incriminate the other as the culprit. We can't trust either of them. What's that, right? You don't think we can trust your client? You think he's a liar? Well, that's not exactly what I meant. Then do you think it would be a mistake to put him on the stand? No, of course not. That was a dirty trick, Williamson. Mr. Wright, what is your opinion on this? I have to trust Mr. Parker. I have to believe that he isn't going to lie, just to get off the hook. The defense will allow Mr. Parker to testify. Very well. Proceed. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Wayne Parker. I'm an ex-mafia enforcer. I worked as one of Mr. Rivales' top men.
A filthy occupation.
Please don't say that.
Your poor choice of career is not what matters here, though. You are here because you witnessed something very important.
That's right, sir. I saw him.
Oh, no.
I saw the detective going into the crime scene. He looked scared out of his wits.
Could you tell us more about this?
I can do that.
Oh, yeah, just for clarification, is this trial in 2 parts or just one long part? Is there a recess in the middle? Just curious. Just curious because I want to know if I should split this court segment into 2 episodes or just have it be 1 episode.
I'm looking at Visual Novelty's playthrough of it, and I am not seeing a recess in any part.
Okay, so just 1 episode then.
Looks like it. I passed by the detective as I was leaving the room. He went in about the same time I went out. Knew that Mr. Rivales had been expecting somebody, so I wasn't too concerned at the time. It wasn't until later that I found that he had been killed.
This testimony is fine for Mr. Parker, but it makes Waters look even worse than before. This is really cool. I don't know if the main series has done this before, but where you have to defend someone apart from your defendant, and like the defendant is saying that the person you're trying to protect is guilty. Has the main series done that before? I can't remember.
Unless it happens in Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, not that I'm aware of.
Witness, was the victim dead when you left?
No, sir.
Oh, Waters is so fucked. So he had to have been killed after. This Detective Waters fellow is looking more and more guilty.
Like any testimony, this must be thoroughly examined to make sure there are no contradictions.
Yes, I suppose so. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Are you sure it was Detective Waters?
He's that other guy who testified yesterday, right? The one who arrested me?
Yes.
Yep, that's the one.
How were you able to tell?
Huh? Oh, well, I saw his face, I guess.
Rats. Wait, he saw his face. That shouldn't be possible. Because there was a blackout. There is no way he should have been able to see his face. But let's continue. When was that?
It was sometime during the blackout.
When you showed up around 5:30, your meeting only lasted for a few minutes. That would mean that the blackout had just barely started when you left.
That sounds about right.
If it barely started, then he might have been able to see Waters' face.
I didn't stick around for very long after that.
Where did you go next?
Oh, I was rather upset about how my meeting with Mr. Rivales had ended. He means how Mr. Rivales wouldn't let him quit.
So I'm eating. This man can't seem to get a break in life, can he? You knew he was coming?
Not the detective specifically. Mr. Rivales had mentioned having a meeting with someone that day.
Would the receptionist have known too?
Sarah? Well, yeah.
Bring her up. Bring her up on the stand.
It was her job to know stuff like that.
So Miss Keyes knew that Waters was supposed to meet with the victim. That means that nobody had to do any sneaking around that morning. This changes everything.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Nick?
Probably.
I said that in the middle of a yarn.
There's only one reason why she would neglect to mention that she knew Waters was there. Was he dressed normally when you passed him?
Yes.
Then how do you explain the photo taken by Cody Hackins?
The same explanation used yesterday can still be used now, albeit with a different person.
The one about how he entered the room twice, once from the hallway and once from the roof?
That one.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with this theory? Yes, Your Honor. The problem is with... I don't remember that theory being brought up yesterday. When was that brought up? I kind of remember that being brought up, but I can't exactly remember. Well, first of all, I'm going to save here. What would the problem be with? Once the witness, killer, the victim. I don't think the victim matters, so I can just ignore that option. Just between the killer and the witness. I'm gonna go ahead and guess the witness because I don't remember this theory being brought up, so I'm just gonna guess. The witness, Wayne Parker.
What exactly is the issue with him?
He's obviously just lying to cover. Oh, nope, that's definitely not it. But you know what? Let's see where this goes. Is the defense suggesting that their client is committing perjury? Yes, that's exactly what I'm What was that for?
What do you think that was for? You're gonna get Mr. Parker convicted if you keep that up.
Sorry.
Must have pinched him. Don't do it again.
Fine, okay, I won't.
Nick, do you think that Mr. Parker is lying to us?
I don't think so. I think that he's just mistaken. I certainly hope so, at least.
Well then, that means there's still a contradiction in there somewhere.
But where? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe I just don't remember what happened last time. But, alright, the killer this time. Unlike before, you aren't the one being accused here, Mr. Parker. Yesterday, the theory rested on the assumption that you were able to smuggle in the armor. Oh, over the course of several days. This wouldn't be possible with Detective Waters.
Oh, what do you mean?
Since he didn't work in the tower, he would be immediately noticed. I doubt the family would have enjoyed the presence of such a fine, upstanding detective as him.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
I'm being serious here. There's no way he would have been able to sneak anything in over a period of several days. Why? I think I know why. Been working on an almost...
Tell me?
Huh?
Wanna tell me?
He's been working on an almost 24-hour schedule. He wouldn't have had the time. I'm gonna save here just in case, though.
Yeah, no.
What? Okay.
24-hour schedule... People have no time for stuff, and yet they make stuff happen.
Okay, well, it's definitely
Shall
not
I help
that.
you?
Not yet.
All right.
Why would he have not been able to bring in the armor? Where would he have put the armor?
Good question.
The cameras. He would have been caught trying to smuggle it in.
Like he said, the family wouldn't have appreciated his presence.
As we all know, blackouts are a rather rare thing. They don't exactly happen every day.
Do you see where I'm going with this? That means that any other day, the security system would have been fully functional. My client went there every day and would not look out of place. Detective Waters, on the other hand, would attract a lot of unwanted attention. He couldn't sneak himself in there, much less a suit of armor. Why, that's right! And I don't think that I need to remind you that the defendant just testified that Waters was not wearing the armor when he saw him. If that's the case, then how did it show up in this picture?
Does it really matter? It's there either way. Somebody managed to smuggle it into that building.
Well, Mr. Wright, who did it? I haven't been saying this since day one. I really thought it was Mark Waters, but it's a third person. It had to have been a third person. What? Somebody besides the defendant and the detective was in the pit house? That would mean that there was a third person. Great job, Judge. You can do math. That's what I just said.
Do you know who this other person was?
No idea.
Well, that doesn't help us at all, does it?
Maybe it doesn't, but I think I have something that will. You do? Show us! Both Detective Waters and Mr. Parker were in custody yesterday. In that time, something happened which neither of them could have done. Somebody tried to remove something. What was this thing that somebody tried to remove? I think I know this one. The blood stain. Because it was covered up. It was wiped away.
Good job.
But just to be safe. This.
Ah!
Are you a sheep? What is that? This, Your Honor, is something that we've all been searching for these past few days.
That's Galante's symbol. Where did you find that?
In the abandoned building across the street from the Reveles Tower. It had already been erased when I arrived. I was only able to find it using luminol.
We were missing a bottle of that at the crime scene. Did you...
We don't need to get into the specifics of how I found it. The point I'm trying to make here is that the scene had already been tampered with only recently. Neither Waters nor Parker could have done it. Then who did? The person who put it there. Sir Galante. He tried to remove the skull to throw us off his trail. This mark proves that Sir Galante is the culprit.
That doesn't help us. We need to know who he actually is.
I don't think anybody can tell you that. We've run a rather thorough investigation, but haven't found anything.
Mr. Parker, would you mind telling us about the family's investigation of Sir Galante?
Of course, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what I know. Mr. Reveles had been running his own investigation on Sir Galante. Even with all our resources pooled together, we weren't able to find him. Whoever he is, that guy knows what he's doing.
Sorry. Eating. I thought that testimony would have been longer. I would have had a bit more time to eat. This sounds an awful lot like the investigation the police have been conducting. They haven't had much luck either.
Actually...
maybe I should just start the cross-examination. Okay, you don't have to get so excited about it.
Remember, Nick, you have to be careful here.
Oh. Yep.
Or Mr. Parker might tell everybody about the deal the police have had with the Reveles family.
Thanks, I'll remember that. No luck on that?
None. He's like a ghost.
A phantom, if you will.
Not a single piece of solid evidence.
Perhaps somebody has been tampering with the crime scenes.
That's always a possibility. However, it's just as likely that the criminal is simply a very intelligent person.
You need to be either very smart or very lucky to evade capture for that long. Probably both.
He's a whole lot more than just lucky. He knows how to cover his tracks. He's definitely not incompetent, I'll tell you that.
Mr. Parker, did your boss ever talk about did your boss ever talk with you about the investigation?
All the time. He told me almost everything. As one of the family's top enforcers, I knew all about the investigation.
This is new? You didn't tell me about this before. Mr. Parker, could you update your testimony with this information?
Got it, Mr. Wright.
I knew just about all the info we'd gathered. The victims' names are generally withheld from the public, so I mean, I guess I don't know what to do, but I guess I'll just keep going. You had access to everything they'd found?
Not everything, Mr. Sorry. Not everything. Mr. Rivaldis kept some of it pretty secret.
He didn't trust you with it?
He didn't trust anybody. Sounds like boss of the year to me.
How much did you actually know?
Most of it, which wasn't much.
Wow, could you be any more specific?
It was enough to know that we weren't getting anywhere. It became clear pretty fast that we weren't ever gonna find him. Not alone, at least.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean by alone? The song by heart?
We had to find another group to help us.
Who was... It was another criminal gang, wasn't it?
Well, no.
We don't need to know who else was involved, but you said it couldn't be a criminal gang. Why is that?
Nice save, Williamson.
Actually, there weren't too many organized criminal groups left for us to join with. That was the problem.
That's a problem? Feels like this testimony, no matter what I do, it's gonna get out that the police were working with the Rivaldis family. It feels like that's what's gonna happen at the end of this. There's nothing I can do.
Wayne Parker does not care.
He literally doesn't get... He keeps trying to say it.
Plus, it was the Gatakis and Davarinis were gone.
Oh.
Before, we might have considered joining with them to form an alliance.
That's a scary thought.
That left us alone, with nobody else to turn to.
Do you think things would have worked out differently if the other two groups still existed?
The investigation had already been in progress for 2 years before Big Wins Kataki decided to go clean. I doubt it would have made any difference.
Maybe not.
I'd like to hear more about this, if you don't mind.
Me too. Please update your testimony.
The guy knows what he's doing. Who were you combining resources with? Phoenix?
Penalty, Nick!
Maya, you aren't the judge. You can't give penalties.
Well, that was a really dumb question.
Yeah, I'll admit that.
We already know the answer to it, and we don't want it to be answered.
Ugh, she's right. Maybe I shouldn't have pressed that.
The witness, please answer him.
I don't have a recent save. So I guess I'm just gonna let this happen.
When you say that you are pooling resources, who is it with?
Well, you see, it was with the pot.
I changed my mind. Let's change the subject.
Is there a reason for that outburst, Mr. Wright?
No, Your Honor. I just think we need to get back on track is all.
Well, okay, if you insist.
Are you even sure that Sir Galante is a he?
No.
Sorry, the way you said no is so funny. Then why would you use that word?
I'm trying. Because saying they would be grammatically incorrect, and I don't think that he's a she.
You can debate on the finer points of grammar later. I prefer if we got back to the testimony at hand.
Okay, there we go. That's the new one. Something like that must have been pretty scary for you.
Yeah. You never had any idea who was gonna be next.
Were you ever worried about yourself?
What was I worried?
Never mind, I think I already know the answer to that.
The death of Bruto Cadaverini created a power vacuum. Micro Revellis was opportunistic enough to take advantage of it.
But remember, if he had still been around, Mr. Valls could have called for an alliance. We never got that chance.
This is tricky ground we're walking on here. If I ask the wrong thing, I might get into a conversation that could harm the police department's reputation.
I wonder what else we can learn from Mr. Parker.
He doesn't seem to know any more than Waters or Williamson do. I'm guessing that we've already heard everything that there is to know. There has to be something in here, though, that contradicts the truth.
Alright, while you figure it out, I'm gonna go get a small snack.
Okay. So, Mr. Vaz had been running his own investigation on Circulante. That makes sense. I knew just about all the info we'd gathered. No, not that. This. Unknown. Shown little progress. All identified victims have had connections with the Vallis crime syndicate. Even with all our resources pulled together, we weren't able to find him. I mean, that makes sense, but then has that... I mean, we already know the answer. They work together with the police, and the police... Mark Waters specifically leaks stuff, so that's how Cody knows this, but... We already know that, and we don't want that to get out, so... Whoever he is, that guy knows what he's doing. Maybe the files? Because it says the gender is unknown. That's kind of a weak point, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, no. That's not it. Profiles. I can look at this. Gender, unknown. Okay, so let me try a profile. No. After he killed the Cadaverinis, we've really been on edge. Okay. Well, I've gone through everything I can think of.
Let me know if you're stuck.
I'm just trying random shit at this point. All right.
Okay, there.
I think I've hit a brick wall.
Okay, so
Like we know that the contradiction is that the Ravellas worked with the police, but we don't want that to get out. So what else could be found here? I don't really get it.
Well, let's shall we talk about the statement? Which statement or which evidence?
Which statement?
Okay.
I don't think it's this one, because that's true. It might be this one. That makes sense. I also thought it might be this one because it says the gender is unknown, but I guess that doesn't really matter.
No, Williamson said you can talk about grammar later.
Alright. And I don't think this one matters. I know it's a new thing that got added to the testimony, but I really don't think it matters. So
well,
I think
hold on a minute. Was it Sir Galante who killed the Cadaverinis? I thought the Ravalis family killed them themselves.
Yeah, I thought that as well, but it doesn't say anything about... There's no Cadaverini family members here.
Right. Maybe the investigation files has something?
All identified victims have had connections with the Ravalis crime syndicate. But I don't know if...
Did the Cadaverinis have connections?
After he killed... Oh, that's what it is.
There you go.
Mr. Parker, would you take a look at this file? I thought...
Where?
I thought Parker was saying that the Ravalis killed the Cadaverinis. I thought that's what he was saying. You need to read more carefully. Right here on this page. Page 5. You can clearly see that it says all of the identified victims have had connections with the Ravalis crime syndicate. Bruno Cadaverini was hardly a member of that group. In fact, he was one of your main rivals. Do you get it? Sir Galante didn't kill the Cadaverinis.
That's not what I was told!
I don't know who did it, but the police apparently have reason to believe that it was someone else.
Objection.
Go a bit easier on your client, right? He didn't know. Do you recall what I told
Since
you
when does the
yesterday?
prosecutor ever tell us that?
Galante has achieved quite a lot of fame among the more impressionable. There have been several attempts to copy his work. Most failed horribly. The police have had to keep a close eye on who we talk to about the case. We try to keep the details classified so that we can tell the fake Galantes from the real one. What Mr. Parker just said, that was one of the things we managed to keep a secret. Even from the Ravalis family. That means they never realized that they were Galante's sole target. Ravalis himself was aware. He agreed to keep it a secret.
Why would he do that?
I will not indulge in speculation of an unrelated topic. Sir Galante did not murder the Cadaverinis. That is all you need to be concerned with.
The Ravalis family never realized that Sir Galante was specifically targeting them. Only Micah Ravalis himself knew. But then... if what we just discussed has only been known to the police force, then somebody out there knows too much. I'd like to call in a new witness. Given the circumstances, I'd say this person has a lot of explaining to do. Seems to have an unhealthy obsession with violence. That's great. You know what? I really think it's Virgil Black.
How
Because-
amazing would that be?
No, I really think it's him because I remember him saying that. I don't know, I can't remember the exact words, but I'm pretty sure he said that Sir Galante is specifically going after the Ravalis family and that he's scared for Parker because Parker could be next. I remember him
Very
saying
good
that.
job remembering that.
I really think it's Virgil Black. Oh my god, it's him. Okay. Alright.
To think the stoner dude is our Knight Templar.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo has turned into a Dark Souls boss. You haven't been there, Mr.
Glorious.
Parker. But over the past few days, I have spoken with your friend Virgil Black.
But Virgil, what does he have to do with this?
I believe that he knows a bit too much about this serial killer.
Of course not. He has some sort of vendetta against the Ravalis family.
I knew I remembered correctly.
He's trying to kill them all.
And then later,
That Sir Galante guy isn't gonna stop until he gets every last one of those Ravalis people.
the comments seemed innocent at the time. But with what Mr. Williamson has just told us, I'm starting to find it very suspicious. The defense demands testimony from Virgil Black.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, you made a similar accusation yesterday. Are you sure about this?
Is there any other way he could have known?
Somebody go fetch Mr. Black.
You know what? With a name like Virgil Black, I probably should have realized that he's probably the villain. Let's see what he
You
has
said
to
it yourself way back at the beginning. You said that's a villain name if I ever heard one.
Oh, yeah. I think I said that it was like a Kingdom Hearts villain name or something.
Let's see what he has to say for himself.
Right away, sir.
We will have a
my
recess
God,
until the
there is a
suspect arrives.
recess.
Oh, there is. Well, let's see how long I've been
Sorry, I
recording for.
didn't know.
36 minutes. We can still keep going. This will be just one episode.
Of course. Mr. Wright, do you really think that Virgil did it?
He definitely has a lot of explaining to do.
I just can't believe that Virgil could kill anyone.
Well, let's see. Let's see his hit list. His kill count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 17 people are dead because of this guy.
Huh.
I was wondering the same thing about you.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, we got to clear this up. Mr. Parker, did you kill Sarah Keyes' father?
Oh, that.
She's convinced that you murdered her father when she was a child.
Well, that explains why she hates me so much. I can see why she'd think that. You didn't actually do it, did you? No, I told you I'm not a killer, and that's the truth. But I also said that I've committed several horrible crimes. That's true as well. My worst crime of all has been standing by and doing nothing. I was there when her father died.
If it wasn't you, then who did it?
It was an assassin hired by Mr. Ravalis. I was supposed to go along in case things went bad. I watched as he shot Mr. Locke in the heart.
And you're to blame?
I watched as that 6-year-old girl held her daddy in her arms,
Oh, that's...
weeping as his life spilled out onto her tiny little body. I watched, and I did nothing. I guess I just never made the connection that Sarah was that little girl, all grown up.
She's held a grudge against you all these years.
I didn't do it. There's no way, I know there's no way I can prove that. You'll have to just,
You'll just have to believe me, I guess.
yeah, you'll have to just believe me, or not.
With the statute of limitations passed, there's nothing we could do, even if he had.
You know, I almost suspected Miss Keyes for a while yesterday.
Same! She started speaking like Heath Ledger's Joker. It kind of scared me. This isn't over. I'm sure she still has a role to play in this. I think you two need to leave.
I can try to go more Heath Ledger if that has to happen again.
It's so funny.
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
My name is Virgil Black. I'm unemployed. I kill people.
Mr. Black, this court demands an explanation from you. Right over there claims that you told him things which should have been known only to the police. And the killer, of course.
You told me that Circulante has been singling out the Ravalis family. I did? Are you making stuff up, dude? Stop trying to gaslight me. Don't play dumb. Sorry, dude. I tend to forget things kinda easily. Must be those goddamn Benadryls.
Mr. Black, I have a hard time believing that you would be able to come to that conclusion by yourself.
We've been passing the crimes off as separate incidents. An average civilian couldn't have known.
Hey. You guys need to chill. Let me explain everything. Oh, this will be good.
It sure will.
What bullshit are you gonna make up? I think I might have overreacted a bit. I didn't really know that stuff. I was just guessing it. You must be Sherlock fucking Holmes or something. Besides, Sir Galante knows all kinds of police stuff, doesn't he? I don't have access to that kind of thing. Okay.
You were just guessing when you made those comments.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this satisfy you?
No, Your Honor, not at all. Hey, why are you being like this, dude? I thought we were buddies. I'm not buddies with mass murderers, no matter how justified their actions may have been. Sir Galante is clearly a smart man to have lasted this long. I'll have to be ready for anything here. You overreacted? I think I panicked. I get really scared when I think about how Wayne's messed up in that stuff.
That's right. He might become a victim himself.
I don't really think clearly when I'm talking about that kind of stuff. It's way scary.
So you were just concerned about your friend. How heartwarming.
Don't let him fool you with that, Your Honor. How could you possibly guess something like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just real good at predicting stuff. It's like I have ESPN or something.
Oh, okay, Mean Girls Karen.
You know who this guy reminds me of? Yasuhiro Hagakure from Danganronpa.
Easily.
Yep. I find it very suspicious you were able to jump to that conclusion. Even the Ravalis family wasn't aware of it. Hey, Wayne told me some of his buddies were dying. I just know what I heard from him.
You only knew of the victims that he told you about?
Yeah, that explains how I thought they were the only ones. Since I'm doing Virgil right now, do you want to take Williamson for a bit?
All right.
Yes, indeed it does. Please continue, Mr. Black.
Was that ever actually proven? Hey, I've been watching these trials. I know what's been going on. You guys have been talking all about confidential things and stuff and how that guy knew it all.
You're right. We did mention that yesterday. The fact that Galante can change his MO so quickly does not imply he has knowledge of the investigation. Damn it.
You're all right. You're all right.
Noah, please don't make me voice Obadiah, long term.
Okay, all right.
I mean, in later cases, I'll do it this time, but I do not want to do it in the future.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I believe you are the one who brought that up, right?
Oh, didn't you also say that the detective guy leaked it all to cover his own tracks?
Yes, he said that too.
I'd think that'd point to him more than me, wouldn't it? What Waters did was an accident. Was that ever proven? Well, no. So you just have his word on it. Right? This guy's testimony is resting on the fact that he didn't have police knowledge. There has to be some way around that. Are you sure? Hey, I'd kind of know if I did, wouldn't I? Maybe you're lying, just to throw us off. Hey, prosecutor guy. Can you help me out here?
If you must know, we did a background check on Mr. Black before bringing him in here. He has no friends or relatives on the police force.
Damn it.
He hasn't even so much as made a 911 call before.
Oh.
I don't see any contradictions, Nick.
Neither do I.
Well, I'm sure if you keep looking, you'll find something eventually, right? That's how it always works.
It might not actually be a direct contradiction we're looking for this time. He's worded this very cleverly.
What do you mean?
There isn't a direct contradiction here, but if we take what we've already learned, there just might be an indirect one. What? I think I might have overreacted a bit. I don't think that matters. I didn't really know that stuff. I was just guessing it. Nope. Besides, Sir Galante knows all kinds of police stuff, doesn't he? Okay, none of this stuff on this page matters. I need to look at this. Victims' names are generally withheld from the public and are passed off as separate cases. I mean, he could have guessed it. That is a possibility, but I'm gonna try the files here. No. Okay.
Nice try.
Knows all kind of police stuff, doesn't he? I'm gonna ignore that. I don't have access to that kind of thing.
By the way,
What?
something I want to mention about. Well, actually, no. I'll save it for later.
What? Well, if you forget it later, then I'm not gonna know what you want to say.
I won't forget.
Okay, all right. Is it like a hint you're telling me, or?
Oh no, I'll wait until you need a hint.
Okay. No, is what you were gonna say? Was that a hint? Like you were gonna give me?
It was not.
Okay.
It was more about us discussion about who's going to be voicing who.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Might have overreacted. No, I didn't really know this stuff. I was just guessing it. I think I've cleared that one. It was all kind of police stuff, doesn't he? I don't have access to that kind of thing. I think it's this statement, but I don't know what evidence it could be. I need a hint here.
Okay. Does your evidence contradict the statement you're looking at? Does any evidence contradict besides Sir Galante knows all kinds of police stuff? Because does Sir Galante not know all kinds of police stuff?
Well, Phoenix said that we're not looking for a direct contradiction here, just an indirect one, which I don't know what the hell that means, but
Right, but to what? To which statement?
I don't think it's the first two, because it's just general stuff. I didn't really know that stuff. I was just guessing it. He could have guessed it. It's possible. So that's not a contradiction. I think it's one of these two.
Okay, well, again, I ask you, which one seems like the one we want to contradict?
Probably this one.
So we want to prove that we want to say that Sir Galante does not know all kinds of police stuff.
Is that what is? Is that what it means by indirect? I guess that's what it means.
How would we prove that Sir Galante does not know all kinds of police stuff? How would we do that?
The thing is, he's been known to use other methods. Wait,
What does that
wait.
have to do with
Wait, what
the
the f-
state with...
What the
Okay,
fuck? Which
so
allows
what?
which allows the police to identify his murders. Why would he want to do that? The fuck? Why would he want? Wait.
Maybe the Kira complex. He wants to be known as a hero.
I think I already tried the files here, but I'm gonna try them again. And then I'm actually gonna try the blood skull here as well.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So again, how are you supposed to prove that Sir Galante does not know all kinds of police stuff? Try to answer that question before you try to present anything, if you can answer it. Because if you cannot, then we have to try a different statement.
Sir Galante knows all kinds of police stuff, doesn't he? We can't prove that
Is
he
that
doesn't.
something?
We can't prove that he doesn't because Sir Galante changes up his method of killing people.
Then
So,
you're wasting
not
your
that.
time trying to
Okay.
disprove this.
I don't have access to that kind of thing. You do have access to that kind of thing. Now, why is that?
And what is that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. He. I'm gonna try and press this and see if he answers that. Are you sure? I guess it's just saying that he doesn't have access to police info. That's all it's saying.
Okay.
But
Well,
Sir,
then,
but Sir Galante knows, and if he's Sir Galante, then he would know.
well, I think trying to prove that he's Sir Galante, I think that's swallowing the entire fish. So, look.
I'm actually
you
really
want to talk
stumped on
about
this
an
one.
indirect... Huh?
I'm actually really stumped on this one.
It's okay. I'll guide you.
Okay.
So, he just said, I don't have access to that kind of thing. Which kind of thing is he talking about? Police stuff? Is that what he's talking about?
I believe that's what he's talking about because
Oh,
in that press I just
Yeah.
made, Williamson said that Virgil doesn't have any connection to police. He doesn't have any relatives. He hasn't called 911. Nothing like that.
okay. Now, very well. So, instead of... You gotta do a turnabout. You gotta do what Mia Fey always tells you to do and turn your thinking around. Instead of trying to disprove... Instead of trying to prove that he does... Instead of thinking about the fact that he doesn't have access to police stuff, here's what you should ask yourself instead. What does he have access to? What does he know about?
I don't know if that's something I can prove though.
Talk to me, Noah. What does he know about?
He knows that Sir Galante is specifically going after the Ravalis family. He knows that.
And how does he know that? Where is he getting this information from?
Could be Wayne? No.
Why not?
Wayne, according to Virgil, Wayne told Mr. Black that his coworkers have been getting murdered. So that does explain how he would know, but I don't know what that proves.
It proves that he has access to information not about the police, but the Rivales family.
Huh. I'm not sure how that proves anything, but let's see where this goes. Mr. Black, I have to give you credit. You definitely know how to deny something. Is there a problem with what I said? No, there isn't. It's airtight.
What's the issue then?
He didn't have police information. He had Rivales family information. Oh, okay.
What? The witness worked for those criminals?
No, but he was close friends with somebody who did, Wayne Parker. That doesn't mean anything, dude. It does, Mr. Black. Yesterday, you told us that when he's stressed, Mr. Parker vents to you. He tells you everything. Not everything. He didn't even tell me he was meeting with old Mikey that day. Notice how he's speaking faster? Did he really need to? He worked there after all. It wasn't exactly out of character for him. It was dangerous, dude. Somebody died there. There. You did it again. You were scared because somebody died? That hadn't even happened yet. How could you have possibly known that somebody was going to die before it even happened? Well, that detective guy was going there. I knew it couldn't end well for him. How did you know that? Wayne told me. Did he now?
I knew that Mr. Rivales had been expecting somebody, so I wasn't too concerned at the time.
He never said, oh. Somebody, Mr. Black. Not Mark Waters, but somebody. He had no idea who Rivales was expecting.
There's no way he could have known that then.
Do you have anything to say to that, Mr. Black? Or should I say, Sir Galante?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
we knew this was coming. Okay, so in the past, you have voiced Sir Galante. If I were to voice, just to let you know, if I were to voice Sir Galante, I would make him sound like King Arthur from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I have watched that movie, but it was so long ago that I do not remember what that character sounded like, so I'm gonna have you take over Sir Galante then. If you're fine with that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can have him.
Thank you so
Yep,
much.
yeah, uh-huh.
What do I have to say, Sir Wright, is that you have made a terrible mistake.
Then I'm gonna take back Williamson in place of that.
Thank you.
What the?
What? Mr. Black, what is the meaning of this?
He's Sir Galante.
No, I am but one of his followers. A fanboy, perchance you might call me.
Perchance.
Fanboy, what is that supposed to mean?
I am merely a simple servant of justice. Sir Galante is the one who will bring peace to the city. Forgive the attire, but it seems appropriate for the time.
I mean, seriously, would you rather have a final showdown with a laid-back stoner dude or a Knight Templar?
Yeah, a knight in shiny armor. I'm gonna have to go with that one.
Exactly.
We approach the climax of our tale. I deny being the great Sir Galante.
That means Sarah Sir Galante.
And yet, if Sir Wright wishes a confrontation, then he shall have it. Prepare yourself.
You're one of his copycats? For the love of all that is holy!
Think what you will, Sir Prosecutor. It is I who will champion the side of truth today. It is clear that you have a misguided sense of justice.
I
Thank
have
you,
a
thank you,
misguided
thank you
sense
so
of
much for letting me
justice.
voice him.
Of course. Williamson looks like he's about to have an aneurysm.
This still doesn't explain how you knew all those things about Sir Galante.
An obsessive fan such as myself will always find ways to learn such things. I have followed the reports on him very diligently these past 3 years. And I perhaps did convince Sir Parker to tell me what he knew.
Stop making excuses.
Ah, Sir Wright. You should know better.
Is it not true that you cannot accuse someone without proper evidence? Without that, the jurors have no reason to suspect me, let alone make a conviction.
I have plenty of evidence.
It begins then, a battle of wits between the great Phoenix Wright, legendary attorney, and I, Virgil Black, but a humble servant of the great Sir Galante. Two seekers of justice pitted against each other. You wish to challenge me? You will lose. Hey, you have already fallen. Alas, I am not the real hero. I am but one of his imitators, his copycats. Was not I who scaled that fortress and slew the beast? Would I had been there to witness such an event.
You disappoint me, Mr. Black. Of all the people you could choose to look up to, you picked a criminal?
He's no copycat, Williamson. This man's the real thing.
We'll see, Mr. Black.
Yes, Sir Prosecutor?
If you are innocent as you say you are, then you need not worry. I won't let Wright do to you what he did to Detective Waters.
Much obliged, Sir Prosecutor. I knew I could count on you.
Sir Galante isn't a hero.
How dare you question him! The Tenebrous Templar is far greater than you will ever be!
Let's keep things civilized in here. Mr. Black, please put that toy away.
The judge's eyesight must be really bad if he thinks that thing's a toy. How did he even get that sword in here?
That's a good it does raise some unfortunate implications for the safety measures in this building.
Please continue, Mr. Black.
You've been saying this whole time that you hate him. Why the sudden change?
Perhaps I was ashamed and have been hiding my true allegiance from you. I believe that my obsession would be seen as a sign of weakness.
It's because of people like you that the investigation has lasted 3 years. There have been too many red herrings for me to even count.
Isn't a herring a kind of fish?
No, Your Honor. A red herring is a lead which ends up going nowhere.
So these fish have been distracting you from finding the real criminal?
Not exactly. However, as long as the imitators don't actually try to reenact the crimes, there isn't really anything we can arrest them for. There aren't any laws against wearing a costume.
I should have seen this coming. He's trying to prove he's innocent by saying that he was pretending to be himself. What is that supposed to mean?
Perhaps my poetic license is too much for you to comprehend. I was referring to Michael Rivales and his tower.
Ah, poetry. I love poetry.
That wasn't poetry, that was...
I shall refrain from it in the future if it bothers you, Sir Wright.
Well, I hope you're happy. Now we don't get any more poetry.
Oh, come on, how am I the bad guy here? Are we really supposed to take your word for it that you didn't do it?
We have no reason to believe that he did.
Yes, in fact, it was only a cruel twist of fate that I do not stand here today with proof of my innocence.
Proof?
I do not actually have it, as I said, but I know that it once existed.
Hurry, Mr. Black. I want to hear all about this proof.
The all-seeing eye slept that morn, preventing me from proving my innocence to you now.
What the fuck? You're having fun with this, aren't you?
Again, thank you so much for letting me voice him.
I don't know if I'd be able to do that, so it's a good thing you're voicing this guy and not me. Huh?
Orvalis clan has eyes everywhere. They see all, hear all, know all.
An all-seeing eye? I don't think I like the sound of that.
I'm sure he was being
Okay, Gundam.
metaphorical, Your Honor.
Yes, you are correct, Sir Prosecutor. That was once again poetic license. I apologize.
Oh, poetry! In that case, it's perfectly fine.
Will the witness please try to make more sense?
Overruled.
But I didn't even object.
You said overruled. Stop whining.
Why don't you like poetry, Nick?
Not you too, Maya. The all-seeing eye slept that morn. I'm gonna assume the all-seeing eye means the camera. But who fucking knows with this guy? That's rather morbid. A man was brutally slaughtered.
Not a man, but a devil, a demon incarnate. His blight has been cured.
It isn't okay to celebrate the death of anyone.
The righteous have triumphed over the wicked. 'Tis enough reason to celebrate as any.
When civilians take the law into their own hands, we're left with an anarchy. Is that what you want for us?
This city is a hive of scum and villainy. The only solution is to cleanse the evil that dwells among us. Sir Galante is the only hope for this cesspool of wickedness.
You're insane.
Perhaps. However, I do not believe there is a law against insanity. Your words fall on deaf ears, Sir Lawyer. You are alone in this quest to convict me. Would it not be wiser to simply surrender?
Never.
Only a fool does not give up when he sees he is beaten. You have nothing to fight me with. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Well, funny story, Sir Galante, but I have this giant-ass sword in my pocket, and I'm just gonna bring it out, just... Okay. The all-seeing eye...
What were you saying earlier? Actually, no. I'll let you. I'll
What do
let
you-
you think. Let me know if you're stuck.
I thought that the all-seeing eye meant the camera, and I still think it does.
Okay.
And I think what disproves that is that there's a picture right here. Picture of him right there. I think that might be it. No, that is not it. Never mind. Okay.
What does the picture have to do with the camera?
The camera was out because of a blackout, so it didn't capture a picture of him. And there's a picture of him right here. That was my thinking, but that's incorrect. So... You were there to witness the event. Damn it. I really thought that was it. Okay.
The picture proves Sir Galante was there. It doesn't prove Virgil Black was there, the alleged imitator.
You're not the real hero. You're one of his imitators, his copycats. I'm gonna try the picture here, and then that is my last guess. Alright. This trial really ramped up in the difficulty.
All right, that's why I'm here. So
I would like a hint.
let's go back to what you were talking about earlier. You thought that the you thought that the all-seeing eye was the camera,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Well, if the all-seeing eye is the camera, then if it's preventing him from proving his innocence, that would mean that. Man, how do I guide you to this? So
I
the
feel like it would be the
picture-
fuse box. Somebody's been messing around with it. Someone intentionally cut the lights. Is that it? No. Okay.
Okay, in Cody's photo, where is Sir Galante at the moment? On the roof.
Yes. I honestly
On
have
the
no idea what the hell is going on in this photo, but it does look like
He's
he's
on the roof. Yeah, that's all you need to know. And the fact that he's on the roof, what does that have to do with the camera?
It has nothing.
Actually-
it has nothing to do with the camera because there's no camera at the roof.
Ah, well then the all-seeing eye isn't exactly all-seeing, is it?
Yeah. They watch out over every room except for the penthouse at the top. Let's see. Let's see if that's what the game wants me to do here. It is what it wants me to do here. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I need to slow down my thinking. The ADHD is really kicking in. I'm trying to think through this as fast as possible. Is this your all-seeing eye?
Ah yes, you are a perceptive one.
That's what I thought. Are you forgetting something? There were no cameras in the penthouse. Even if the power had been working, there wouldn't have been any footage of the crime. There's a reason the crime had to happen there, and there alone. That was the only place in the building where the killer could not be seen.
As much as I'd like to entertain your hypothesis, there was a rather large flaw with it. There's no way he could have avoided the cameras on his way up.
The power was out,
How would he have known that? A blackout isn't the kind of thing that you plan for.
unless someone intentionally caused the blackout. Isn't it?
Ah.
Now I'm on the track. I'm on the right track again. I'd actually say that the blackout wasn't random at all. It was a part of the plan. The fuse box on the roof had been tampered with. There was a device on it that activated when I touched it and turned off everything in the building.
That was you, huh? Good to know.
The question here, of course, is why was that even on there in the first place? The only answer can be that it was meant to sabotage the building's power systems. Sabotage? How horrible. The blackout happened so that it was possible for something big to happen in the building, without leaving behind any proof of who had done it. Ah! Eep!
Be careful there, Mr. Black. You might break something.
My apologies, Sir Judge. However, I felt it best to get your attention.
Yes, well, please, just say something next time.
Sir Judge, I believe that I must have a chance to defend myself further. The accusations made by the defense are entirely unfounded.
You can refute their claims.
Of course I can. A device on a fuse box would have been useless to an intruder. What good would it serve anybody, being on the rooftop? It is clear that the blackout was a mere coincidence. The earlier theory presented by the prosecution is much more sensible. In any case, Sir Waters should be honored, not punished. The death of Michael Rivalis marked a turning point. By slaying him, he has all but vanquished the Rivalis clan.
I feel like that's an important line right there.
Sir Judge, you are a wise man, but it seems you have been letting the defense get out of hand.
Yes, perhaps I have.
What?
Sir Prosecutor is unable to control him properly, then perhaps harsher punishments should be instilled. A deterrent from further distractions.
I agree. This sounds like a good idea.
What?
Penalty will be given for any needless pressing of the witness.
Fuck.
You may
This
begin,
is
Mr. Wright.
This is bordering on parody.
That's all right. Well, the good thing is I have save states, so I can get through this. I still want to be careful about what I press, though.
I think it'll do the whole thing of, do you want to press further or not?
Okay, well, let's find out then. That's not true. You could disable all the cameras in the building with something like that.
Such an ability would be useless if you could not access it.
What should I do? I feel like... It may be true that he couldn't access it, but Sarah could. She could have been lying that she was looking for her phone. She could have been up there waiting to get the signal to turn out the lights. I'm gonna try pressing further. You could easily access it by taking the stairs to the roof.
And by the time you got there, the security cameras would have seen you 100 times. Rather pointless, no.
Well, maybe it's not the best idea.
Just stop trying, please.
Damn it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still locked in on that theory. I think that Sarah was up there. I think I want to press on this one. What do you mean by that?
An intruder would have to enter from the ground floor, would he not? There is no other way to get there. The security system would have been fully active until you reached the fuse box. You would not have made it far without being seen.
Was it really necessary to go to the roof to activate the device? I mean, his bird could have done it. What should I do?
Aha.
I'm gonna try pressing. Maybe there's another possibility. What if it was possible to activate the blackout without being next to the fuse box?
How exactly would you do that?
There might have been a remote control for it. It was electronic, so it's definitely a possibility.
Have you seen this remote? Do you know that it actually exists?
Well, no.
Such a thing would indeed make sense of the situation. However, without proof of it, you have nothing.
I feel that this is an interesting thing for us to consider. Please amend your testimony, Mr. Black.
Yes.
It would need some kind of remote to control it.
No, I could go with the funny answer here and present the hawk, but yeah, I have a feeling that was not going to be it.
Nice try.
Would have been useless to an intruder. What good would it serve anyway? Oh, yeah, I have to go through that again. I accidentally need to make a save state after I get that. All right, and now I'm going to make a save state here. Let's try pressing this one. It doesn't seem normal that the device would activate as soon as it was touched. That seems more like a malfunction than anything else.
You have not found a remote, therefore you cannot prove that it existed.
What should I do? What if we haven't found the remote because it was disposed of?
What do you think did that?
The killer, obviously. Sergalante. I'm almost positive that's what happened. Sergalante is known for never leaving any evidence behind. Wouldn't it make sense that he got rid of something that could prove how he did it? He still needed the blackout to be in effect until he left, so he couldn't remove the device from the fuse box. He could, however, easily dispose of a remote control.
Sir Prosecutor, are you not going to say anything?
No. I can neither prove nor disprove what he said. Galante's hidden evidence before. It could happen again. Continue, right?
How could you possibly prove that?
How could you possibly prove that it wasn't?
Well.
Precisely.
Shit. What should I do? This feels like a moot point. I'm gonna leave it alone. The earlier theory presented by the prosecution. We've been over that thing a million times now.
Yet it still makes more sense than what you are proposing.
What should I do? Fuck it, let's try it. Do we really need to go over this again?
The theory holds true because there is no other way it could have been accomplished.
No other way?
Yes, there is only one way to access both the roof and the penthouse. That is through the reception area.
The receptionist was aware that the two suspects were there. I would find it hard to believe that a third could sneak past all three of them.
Yes, Sir Judge. To open the window and commit the crime, one would have to enter the room no less than twice. There are no other possibilities.
Actually, if we accept another thing, we can find a new possibility.
What is that?
The remote.
Pray tell, what difference could that possibly make?
A person using a remote control probably wouldn't be in the building in the first place. He also couldn't have entered through reception because 3 people would have seen him. So, he had to have come from somewhere else, somewhere outside the building.
Here we go.
Somewhere outside the building. I don't have a picture of the abandoned building.
That's fine, but how do you enter from outside the building?
You zoom up.
Here you go.
If we can't go up, why not go down?
Down? What do you mean by that?
His point of entry was from the roof. He climbed down from there and went through the window. The only room he ever stepped foot in was the penthouse. Ridiculous! Is it? Because that's exactly what one of our witnesses told us. He saw Sir Galante climb down from the roof and into the penthouse.
That doesn't explain how he got up there in the first place.
I'll bet I have an answer for it. Just stop doing that!
You are getting ahead of yourself, Sir Wright. Before trying to prove how I entered the penthouse, would it not be better to prove that I was there at all?
Okay, listen here, you hear ye, Shakespeare-looking ass. Stop it.
I implore you to present even a single piece of evidence that suggests that. At the moment, the only one who accepts this story is you.
No, knocked down right as I was getting started.
Mr. Black, I believe that you can leave. It appears Mr. Wright still doesn't have everything thought out.
Yes, I do. No, wait. I'd like to request one more testimony.
What about?
I'd like them to testify about... His motive is clear as day. So... say either his alibi or his knowledge of the crime. His alibi, he could say literally anything. But his knowledge of the crime... He could say that he was just chilling at home, and we can't do anything about that. His knowledge of the crime... How does he know that Waters... Huh?
What is there to say about his knowledge of the crime?
How does he know that that Waters was there? How does he know that? He wouldn't know that he wouldn't know that Waters is there unless he was there himself.
All right.
That's what I'm going to go with. His knowledge of the crime. He's already shown that he knows too much. There's no way that's a coincidence.
Have you not already established, though, that it was through Sir Parker that I learned everything?
That's right. Why should we need to cover this again?
Well, I just thought it was suspicious. But how does he know that Waters was there? That's not explained yet.
Through Sir Parker. That's what they're going with.
that doesn't make sense, because Mr. Parker didn't say that it was Waters there. His alibi. We need to know where he was when everything happened.
An alibi? Do I really need such a thing when I am not even a suspect?
No.
It wouldn't hurt, though, would it?
I don't suppose it would. I will allow Mr. Black to testify about this.
Very well, Sir Judge. You expect me to give an alibi for the murder of Michael Rivales? I will do even better. I will show you that I am unconnected to every single element of this investigation.
Oh, well, yes, that is even better.
Press all you like, Sir Wright. You will see that the real killer is not I.